implementing 5S or AM really takes something different from management as well. Hello, I'm Tom. Welcome to my channel where we make operational excellence practical. And a big part of many operational excellence, lean, TPM type of programs is to implement a strong 5S, so a good workshop organization, cleaning, but mainly organization, and autonomous management or autonomous maintenance, AM. Because they focus on really getting your lines, your workplaces, your operators rolling as one unit. Right? So what we get is that you have your technical specifications basically, but also your maintenance, your checklists, your products, and especially your ingoing materials, right? So your stocks, your supplies into the process, and the training of your operators, all into one nice integrated system. Now that of course is great, and 5S and AM, they really are very strong systems, real foundations under your TPM house. And what do we always say? Well, we always say in 5S and AM, make sure that the operator is central. And yes, that is absolutely true as well. But there's a huge pitfall here. See, when I see managers implementing a 5S and AM program, putting the operator central from the start, that's where things goes wrong. Because, see, they are not used to being in the lead of process control, performance control, improvement, thinking in a Kaizen way, right? Making small adjustments to their own process. That's a competence you have to learn. So when you put the operator central in your 5S AM program, and so that immediately push them off the deep end, that is gonna crash down on you, and that's gonna ruin your 5S program going forward. Because the next time you want to implement it somewhere in another department, or again in the same department, because you are gonna fail, operators will be, yeah, right, we're not gonna do this again. Last time it cost us a couple of people. So how do you approach this? When thinking about the competence of going into autonomous management, well, this is basically a competence as any other, right? One that your operators are probably not used to, but are very able at some point to go and do. So think about it in a delegation of management tasks, a delegation of responsibilities. And for that, we have this brilliant framework of situational leadership, right? When you want to guide people, coach them through a competence building journey where they can take more and more responsibility, that's where the framework comes into place. So that's that framework of how directive should I be in my leadership style, my management style, and how supportive. And the whole idea here is that you have to really match this to the current competence level of your operator for specific tasks. So it's not even per se for the entire competence package of AM or 5S. No, it is task by task. And when we do an AM implementation, it's 7 steps. It's not for nothing. It builds onto specific tasks that are sort of a package in AM, with the first one being the step 1 of AM, so the total clean out. Is that really a task or a competence? Nah, and you can support a lot, but there is a huge task in there, which is the tagging and the cleaning. So the use of checklists to keep your machine maintained, at least at a basic level. That is what you have to put into your framework. After that, we go into changing the cleaning schedules. Now, changing a cleaning schedule requires a lot more competence on understanding why are we cleaning, what is enough cleaning, how do we organize it, how do we make sure that we manage ourselves, the whole team amongst the different shifts probably, right? How do we manage that in a good way? How do we have some spot checks on it, some controls on it, make sure that tasks are done when somebody doesn't have the time to. That really steps it up another competence level. And then in the 3rd and 4th steps, we go more into very technical knowledge of the machines. And again, into how do we maintain, how often do we need to lubricate, what do we need to tighten, why, when, how often, how do you do that? So that's a very nice build-up, and a good AM implementation does that step by step. So in each of those steps, you can take those core tasks and treat them as a skill competence in our situational leadership model. Now, generally, what is drawn here is that there's sort of 4 quadrants. And basically, what we say is that people, they start off with almost no skill. And they move through there in this way. So this is not showing you the skill itself. So the arrow is basically the buildup of the skill competence. And your management style, it is linked to how skilled people are, how competent they are. So at first, we need to be very directive, not too supportive. And you might say, well, not so supportive. What does that mean? When we're starting 5S, you just tell people, this is what I need you to do. It's these tags, I need you to check this. This is what good looks like, what bad looks like. This is the list it has to be put on. This is how we clean. This is how you run a meeting. You have to do that, and that. Because basically what you're doing is you're just delegating very micromanaged tasks. It's not real delegation to begin with. And so what we're doing there is just telling people what to do. Then when people become a bit competent, but especially when they're in sort of a learning journey, a learning situation, and they see, well, you pick out those who want to, you see that they are motivated, you go to a more supportive leadership style. Now, what that means is that you give a lot more feedback, a lot more coaching, and what you do here is you help them in their learning journey. Why don't you start with that? Well, because they're not ready for it yet. They're not convinced that they're going to learn this in the first place. Now here we have a big difference already. When you implement your 5S AM, you will see that there is a couple of people within the team who really like the system, who immediately go for it. Specifically for those, you already shift up to this coaching type of leadership. Now, at some point, they become more and more competent. Then you go to less directive styles. So here you get into the delegation part. Basically, the level 4, that is real delegation. We don't support anymore. We just say, okay, run your AM, run your 5S, and just make sure you do it well. You don't come there every week to say, oh, you're doing so great, or oh, what's bothering you? No, just assume that they can run it. At that level 3, this is the level where people basically, and this is also competence linked, here people are competent and they know that they have become competent. Now, that is not your final state, because here we basically don't know that we're competent anymore. Right? It is an unconscious competence. At that point, you don't want to remind people that what they're doing is so great, because that would sort of even take them out of that good feeling of just being able to do it, right? The mastery. So that's the system we are using. In the beginning, we are just putting tasks there. And then when we see that they're picking up on the tasks, people understand it's not that scary. We go into guidance, where we still are directive. We still tell them what to do, how to run a meeting, what an agenda looks like, how to do the actions. But we assume that after a couple of repetitions, people will know. So we let them run an AM meeting, we let them jot down the actions, and then afterwards we provide the feedback. And then at some point, when they've run through 1 or 2 of these steps of AM, or they've really done one 5S round basically in their department, you know that they will be able to run that meeting. You know that they will be able to put down actions. You know that they will be able to communicate with the maintenance department on these topics. We move to the real coaching. So here we are talking about sort of hands-off coaching. Guidance is sort of coaching behavior, but it's still telling people what to do, right? We give directions. Then we move to the hands-off coaching, where it's more, hey, how is your AM team going? How's the AM efforts at your line going? What's going well? What's going not too well? Where do you need the guidance? What would you like to have from us? It's a way of letting them tell you what's up, what do they need, but also to reflect on their own work because they are competent. And then you go for full delegation. Now, full delegation generally happens only in the somewhat higher steps of AM, although, again, think of step by step. So at some point, you have fully delegated making maintenance tags and updating a cleaning schedule while you are still in a pretty strong guidance on resetting specific technological parameters and a way of cleaning, a way of maintaining the line, because those are the higher steps of AM. Those are still where you give a lot of direction and support, and some of the basic tasks are already in delegation. So think about that. Discuss this also if you have like a TPM pillar structure. Discuss this in your AM pillar. Which teams are ready for what level of leadership? Also, which individuals? Because usually your AM team leaders or your 5S team leaders, they will be a little bit further along in this journey. Or for some skills, they are further along. For some skills, they're not. Discussing situational leadership anytime that you are managing a group of people in new competence, in competence that are a little bit outside of their normal work, so to say, it's super useful to be discussing this. Super useful to be discussing who of the team, who within the team is at what level for the different skills. This is not directly linked to the 5 skill levels, although it does come close. Right? So think about it a bit in that way. And when you do that, you can put that operator central. You just don't delegate. So what do? Bringing this back into the practical, we know that we want to go into that training machine setting checklist, making sure that all your materials are there, and that the operator should become autonomous in that management at some point. When we know that we want to have all of these, and we've got a 5S route and AM route, for the tasks, link up. So start with just telling people what to do and see how quickly you can go to having them sort of try it by themselves with your guidance. Only when you see that people are picking it up can you move over to less directive. Now, for each of your core competences within the AM framework, this has to be the goal, right? To get to that you can fully delegate it to them, because that way they are fully autonomous in those tasks. But you do it step by step by step. And you have to adjust the way you manage and lead your team through that. Now, whether you're a manager of a production department or you are more a CI specialist, a lean engineer, think about organizing this from your management support. So if you are in that CI role, think about you have to sort of coach the managers of those AM teams to use this system, and you can guide them and observe, where do I see that the AM team members are in different parts of their competences? How should we guide them? Quite likely, by the way, your line managers, your shift leaders, production managers, operational directors, they might also not be all that confident in running AM or 5S. So as a CI, OPEX, lean lead, your role is in there as well. And there is a big chance that the management line will just say, okay, you go and guide and coach them. And that is absolutely fine. If that is the case, think about each of the tasks. Let people have their learning journey and adjust your management and leadership style to that learning curve. And that way, you will have an AM program that actually builds up the competence in your organization. So I hope you like that explanation. If you want to have any other or learning or AM or 5S topics, let me know in the comments, right? I have ideas of what to make videos about, but I love it when those ideas come from you, because then at least I know that I am catering to your needs and adding value to your work. For now, I hope you hit that like button, bring those comments on experience, on new ideas, and go and build your AM competences. And as always, don't forget to also enjoy the continuous improvement journey.